What's up, YouTube? Nana D here with another Trans Talk Tuesday. No, I am not wearing my prosthetic devices for a reason, which I'll get into here. Basically, what you see is on a day when the kids are gone and it's the weekend and we have no plans to get out, this is basically how I look. The grandkids are asleep right now, so I can get away with it. I'm going to try to keep the prosthetics in while they're home for appearances until they get to such an age that they need to be explained to. But the reason for this appearance is there is a particular reason, and what I intend to do this episode is I want to talk about my transition so far, what I've done, what I haven't done. And for those that are planning on transitioning or have questions about transitioning or don't want to transition just yet, but they want to start upon a path, kind of throw hints and suggestions and everything else out there. Okay, so I have been openly the way I am for about 4 years now. It's 4 years this month. I've been on hormones, natural hormones, for about three years now. Except for about the last 4 months, I had to kind of stop taking them for a time being because of the financial situation and the fact that we have so much to do here on the house. I'm hoping to get back on them as soon as I can. But the reason I'm not wearing any prosthetic devices today is I did want to show that there is, excuse the hairy chest, but I want to show that there is breast development there. I'm not quite as flat as I look. As you can see there's a good shot of it. There is breast development there from 3 years of being on hormones. And there's another side. So as you can see that there is breast development there, which actually is a lot of breast development when you figure I was extremely flat-chested when I came out. Not only was I flat-chested, but you could almost call it enclave, but it was also all muscle. Whereas you can see there is now breast tissue. Now, they're not the size I want. They do develop a little bit differently than on a natural born female. But you also have to figure out, I'm only probably, they say about 10 years. So I'm about a third into the growth cycle from being on hormones. There's another shot. Okay. So hormones do grow breast tissue. And as I pointed out in my last video, usually you're going to end up a cup smaller than most of the females in your house. Now, there's two important things when it comes to your developing breasts that I want you to keep in mind. Per cup size, each breast weighs a pound. So when you start talking about wanting D-size breasts, you're talking about 8 pounds of fat on your chest. Rethink about that before, if you're going to have surgery, before you decide that you want huge breasts, because of the fact that they do weigh approximately a pound each cup size. So 2 pounds for A's, 4 pounds for B's, 6 pounds for C's. Okay, so the prosthetics that I wear, I actually should have gone a size smaller. The ones that I wear are for a size D, but because of the developed tissue I have they're more like a double D or a triple D. Definitely too big for my frame. So if and when I ever get money to rebuy them, I will probably go down to a C. Okay, so there's a lot I want to cover here, and so I'm going to be kind of all over the place because there's so much I want to cover. So you can grow breast tissue in breasts on estrogen. The question is, you have to ask yourselves, what kind of estrogen do you want to take? Now, the estrogen that gets prescribed by a doctor is man-made. You have to go to the doctor, you have to have blood tests, and the reason you have to have blood tests on a regular basis and see a doctor regularly is because the man-made substance will not flush from your body once your body is taken in all at once, therefore putting you at risk for cancer, especially within the breasts, by having too much estrogen stored. Now, I use a company called the Phoenix Project to get my natural estrogen pills. I use them for a couple of reasons. The first reason is it is owned by a transgender and has been in business since the 1970s, so it has been around for a long time. Now, for those of you that want to transition slowly, they have a regular formula. They have an estrogen pill, an anti-testosterone pill at normal strengths, and then for those that want to try to build, that don't care about how quick or slow that their breasts develop, you can get an extra strength. Now, the good thing about it is they're all natural, and they flush through your system. Your body takes in what it needs as a transgender woman, and it will flow the excess, wash it out of your body. Your pee will be very yellow because of it. It's a little costly per month, but it depends upon how many pills you choose to take, also, as well as whether you're doing it slowly or not. I was doing, I think it was 2 pills. I was either doing 2 or 4. I don't remember. Like I said, it's been about 4 months since I took them, and I was doing the extra strength. Now, if you haven't gone public with who you are, you're planning on it eventually, or you're wanting to feminize yourself more so you feel more feminine, there are things you can do without getting the shots and without getting natural pills. Now, understand, these will only help so far, but it is the way to get your body used to estrogen and get estrogen, more femininity into your body. And that is to eat foods high in estrogen. An example is soybeans or soy milk or cucumbers, carrots. I'm not going to list them all off. It's simply just Google foods high in estrogen, and you'll get a long list of foods that have estrogen in them. You can also Google foods high in testosterone, so you can cut down on your testosterone by not eating so much. Now, the thing is, you need to understand too, is estrogen is going to change your body and in ways you wouldn't think of. For example, it widens your hips. It takes your pelvic bone and shifts it. So those pants you're wearing, the way they fit are going to change over time. Your bladder, one of the things, especially if you're using, now they recommend, with any kind of estrogen, there's 3 things that they recommend. No caffeine, because caffeine is estrogen blocker. It works against estrogen. Chocolate. Now, the interesting thing about chocolate is, people joke about when they get on a chocolate binge, or when they get that craving for chocolate. That is actually the body's natural response to too much estrogen, because chocolate is also a blocker. And then, of course, thirdly, they would say don't smoke, or cut down, because it affects the body's ability, the oxygen in the bloodstream. Your bladder will get smaller. Eventually, your appetites will get smaller. I'm cursed. I'm cursed because they say to drink a lot of water, at least 8 to 12 cups a day, to help your body with the adjustments and whatnot. So I drink all that a day. Well, I also have Crohn's disease, and now my bladder's getting smaller, so I have to go to the bathroom more. A lot of fun. Other changes that it will do, try to stay active, because you can get a little bit of weight gain. The hips, like I said, have started. I mean, I can't really take to where my body's developing more of a hourglass shape, I guess you could say. Does cause the butt to go out a little bit. The thing is, it also really changes you. When I first started, I was in a size 12 women's. I am now in a size 7. So it does change that. It can also cause the shifting in structure of your body. When I first came out, or went public, I hate the word come out, I prefer went public. I was wearing a size 11 women's shoe, which now is too big, and about a size 10. So there's that. Like I said, I don't eat as much as I did. Before. I will warn you, as these grow, there are pains associated with it. And you'll know when they're growing. You will know. So there's a couple of things that I've done with my transition. Like I said, I do the natural. Now, for those coming out, or that haven't come out yet, or that they want to feel more feminine, but aren't ready to come out. There's a few suggestions that I have. About a month prior to my coming out, actually it was about 2 months, I started wearing makeup and clear nail polish. Now, the thing about the makeup, for the lips, I'd use a clear, like lip seal type stuff, and I would use neutral colors. I use neutral eyeshadow on my eyes, and like I said, clear coat on my fingernails, and nobody noticed at work. And I worked around the same people every day, and nobody picked up on it. And yet I felt more feminine, more comfortable. One of the suggestions I have, if you do come out and you're going out in public as who you are, the one thing I want to recommend, all them magazines that you've looked at women, all of them, television women, forget that idea when it comes to makeup. I would start with a neutral tone and then gradually find colors that fit your representation. The reason I say this is because if you go out make like a model that has makeup artists working on them, with all the bright colors, or like the um, movie stars, like Taylor Swift goes out in that bright red lipstick. Women don't normally put that type of makeup on them unless they're a teenager. Women don't most women that I know don't heavily apply their makeup. And if they're going out for a special occasion, yes. But if they're going to the store, they're not going to make up their face like they're going out to the ball. That'll be a first, and it has to do with the reaction you get from people. I can go into a place, I do always wear makeup when I go out, but I also always have my hair down. Um, but I'll use like a light pink, or, if I'm going somewhere nice, I'll use a darker color, but I try to keep it toned down a little bit. I've wore bright red lipstick once or twice just because it was something I wanted to do. Most of my colors are fairly neutral, purples, pinks, um, and that type of stuff. Now, like I said, if you're not comfortable with coming out, or you want to do it an extremely slow, go neutral tone. You at least feel more feminine without the perception being, way too much makeup. Now, I have heard stories of women wearing women's jeans so they felt more feminine but weren't ready to come out. Um, the thing is, in regards to that, if you're going to do that, hopefully you don't have women in the house, because a woman can spot a woman's pair of pants quicker than a man. But most men don't look at the pants. So there's that. You can grow your fingernails out. I mean, usually mine are grown out, except I had a couple of chips, so I cut them down. I usually keep them painted. Matter of fact, I just stripped them down so I can paint them. I'm actually going to paint them this color here. Nice cheap nail polish. Does just fine. The thing is remember everything in moderation. Don't spread yourself with a lot of makeup or a lot of perfume so it overpowers. Just dab on the wrists and maybe is enough. So there's that. Eyelashes, keep them trimmed. I mean, mine aren't great, and I hate this camera because this camera sometimes makes my face look extremely bloated, which it is, and I've actually got a very narrow face. But this camera adds about 20 pounds on me. But I still need to trim them down more. I actually want more of a pencil line. To develop your sense of style or your femininity, look at the women around you, look at the women look at how they present themselves. Uh, don't feel that, okay, I've announced myself, I have to go out and get a pair of 6-inch heels. Start out with boots until you get used to that effect. Don't have to emphasize your walk extra amounts. So that's some of the advice I have. Now, transition-wise, I haven't. Oh, quick thing, because I'm getting ready to go on to the subject of body hair and facial hair and whatnot. Don't ever use Nair leg for your face. Part of the reason being, and I discovered this after I had, is it can actually, because your face is actually softer skin-wise than your legs, and the chemicals in it can actually burn under layers of skin. I don't know if you can, wait, other way, no. Why is it? No, there we go. I don't know if you can see, there's a little black spot right in here. That is from where it burned under several layers of skin, and it's just now showing up as a blemish. Leg hair removal products are not recommended for the face because of the skin. If you're going to get something, they have like facial strips that you can get if you choose to use those. Like right here, I haven't used these in a while, but I had originally gotten these. This is called Nair Wax Ready Facial Strips. And it says specifically down here for face and bikini. They come in different sizes. Basically, it's a wax on top of the strip covered by a removable portion. You take it off, you apply it, and then you, very painful. Now, I haven't had hair removal done, not because I don't want to. I would love to. I really would, especially my face. My face and my chest are my biggest pet peeves when it comes to my body hair. But the problem is first of all, you want to find one that has dealt with transgenders, so you know that they know what they're doing. And I'm in an area where there are none. I'm in an area that is very anti-trans. But on top of that, the recommendation is 3 to 4 hours, or 4-hour sessions. Okay, it normally costs $50 to $75 an hour. And they recommend this once a week for a year. Okay, well, you're looking at a minimum of $200 to $350 every week. For a lot of us, we can't afford that. My daughter did recommend a foundation that I find works better than certain ones, and it's by Rimmel, and it's called BB Cream Beauty Balm. And it comes in different shades into this. It is a little expensive though. It's about $7. But I feel it does a better job of blending than powders or the other ones I use. But I'll use both if I have to. The only recommendation for I have that for a transgender, if you have facial hair, is if you're going out, wait until you're getting ready to go out to shave rather than doing it several hours earlier. It'll help keep the shadow down. If you're conscious about this, there's always scarves. Wrap a scarf around. You know, in all kinds of styles. And especially if the shirt you're wearing kind of goes with it, nobody will think anything of it. Now the thing too with facial hair or hair removal, especially from the face, is laser works, but it doesn't work on, I think I read blonde and gray hair, which I was born a blonde, and I'm getting gray hair, in case you can't tell. So, um, in that case, you have to do electrolysis. Now, electrolysis is basically pulling out hair by hair, just so you know. So it can be painful. It can cause redness. So, if you're working 40 hours a week, I'd kind of do it on my Friday or my Saturday, so that the redness has a little bit of a chance to go down before you go into work and get 1,001 questions. So, like I said, that's an expensive process, and so a lot of us can't afford it. I'm stuck to shaving. Um, my joke was, when I first started all of this, is that I really feel that, I really feel that men should spend a month doing all the stuff that a woman has to do to get ready for a date, and I guarantee you they'll never complain about you being late again. So, you have to decide, are you going to go do that? I mean, a transition is an expensive prospect. It can cost upwards to $80,000, $60,000 to $80,000 to transition from head to toe. Um, so I didn't have that done. I'm still not happy with my eyebrows. Um, I have had them waxed. Um, Waxing, you have to understand, is you still have to wax every so often. Of course, I haven't had anything done down there, but I don't tuck either. That's just my thing. Usually I'll wear a long shirt, um, or whatnot, but that's not my main concern. I mean, if you're looking down there, you shouldn't be looking down there anyway. I get more people looking at my butt than my crotch. I've been told I have a very nice butt. In regards to, say you decide you want to do the estrogen, and you want to let your breast develop fully before you decide whether to have surgery, which I recommend. Remember, it's going to take 7 to 10 years for your breast to grow. If you're on estrogen and you get the breasts in, your breasts are still growing. You're going to take estrogen the rest of your life. So they can shape awkwardly, or they can be a lot bigger than you want. Now these, like I said, I do have some breasts. These are, measurement-wise, these are about B's. But there are bras out there that can present you being full of figure. My last trans video that I posted, I mentioned a young lady that I know. Matter of fact, she's the first one to really treat me as the female I am. We even went dress shopping, and she's always been my biggest supporter. I've never heard the word he from her. It's always been her or she. She is small-chested, smaller than I am. And I would have sworn she was a C. The bra, you can find them. You can look online and find them, and they're about 90% padding, but they're designed in such a way that they take your breast and lift it up. So up here you have a very bountiful boob top, and which shows cleavage, things like that. So you have that for if you have small breasts. If you don't want to go to that extreme, you can get padded breasts or padded bras. Um, uh, I've bought most of mine online, and you can get them fairly cheap, cheaper than you could going to a Walmart um, or someplace like that without having people stare at you. I mean, we bought some. Nana Jay and I have got me some from Walmart, so you can shop online for what you need as well. You don't have to go out in public right away while you're getting comfortable to who you are and presenting yourself as who you are. When I first transitioned, luckily it was wintertime, so I always had a heavy jacket on. Underneath I'd have my bra, I'd have my blouse or my sweater, and whatnot. But I got used to going out as me without everybody staring, and then by summertime I was ready to wear these type of shirts or wear my tank tops, and whatnot. My hip huggers. I'll tell you right now, there is nothing better than getting into a size skinny jean or a skinny jean. You know, um, all our sisters will tell you there ain't nothing like a good pair of skinny jeans, regardless of whether you're trans or cis. I actually fit down to a 5 there for a while. My weight had dropped, and then as the estrogen really, because I was eating less, and my body was pulling all that estrogen. Well, eventually, the estrogen kicked in, and like I said, there is gain in places you don't expect um, for the weight, and brought me back up to a 7. Now my daughter sits in a size 5, and I want to wring her neck. Um, so, um, you know, I've done that. As I said, I'm not one to have the surgeries. I'm 50 years old. I've had 2 strokes. I'll be 50 in April. I've had 2 strokes. I've had heart attacks. I have emphysema. Um, so risk-wise, the surgeries aren't a wise thing because they're risky for me. So I made the decision early on that I was going to be as natural as I could be, and I'd help it out however I could. That's why I got these prosthetics that I showed in the last episode. Like I said, I got them too big. I need to go about a size smaller. I need to go more to a C or even a B. Luckily I have enough bras that I can do that in because I have bras for these. Because I did these for a while until, I got tired of a lot of stairs. I got tired of, psychologically, it was bothering me because these aren't as developed as I want, and I want to present myself as being feminine. So I decided to enhance it a little bit, and it kind of worked out because I had time off coming. So I found a place online called Janet's Closet, and um, it's a site for cross-dressers, transgenders, whatever your fetish is, they're pretty much on there. But they have different forms on there that you can get, wide range of sizes. They got the ones that I showed are what's called a teardrop. I prefer that. I prefer a natural slope. But they got some that are just completely round. You just put it on there, and then they push. You put your bra on, and everything will be pushed up. Now, the items and the places that I've mentioned, I'm not endorsed in by any way. It's just me putting the information that I have got through research out there to you. Now, it's ran. Janet's Closet is ran by a transgender. Um, um, the billing's discreet. The package is discreet. The nice thing about the forms that I have well, all except for one. Well, the forms that I have, I've got a total of 4 forms. Two of them are exactly the same, same number and everything. The thing was, is I bought one at full price and one at discount. The discounted prices is because there'll be some type of effect, something not quite 100% right. It doesn't affect the quality, but there's just something not. They don't make the grade there to be sold for full price. Like the pair that I had the other day, was my discounted pair, and that's because there's some air between the outer layer in the silicone. So sometimes, if you brush up against something, you can hear a little deal. They're good enough to wear. They're good enough to wear at home. If I want to wear them out, that's fine. Um, and they're a lot more cheaper than buying full price. But when I was working, I got the regular ones for that. Then I have the next size up, and the next size up, oh my God. Um, let's see if I can find it here. It's the same kind, but it's a lot bigger. I mean, these really put them out there. Um, they fit. They fit me better, but the depth is too big. So I need to get something like this, but with less depth. Um, those definitely make me a triple D. Now, the nice thing about those three is I have this, and what this is this is a medical adhesive. So, say for example, I want to wear something like this, or there we go. Only bad thing about these tops is they don't quite fit my wrong side. That one down, that one up. No, that one up. There we go. So anyway, if I want to wear something like this, or a bathing suit and go swimming, I have this. This is I get it from Janet's. It's a medical, oh wait, no, not this. This is the wrong thing. This here. And what this is here is, all this is a medical adhesive. So I spray it onto the back of the form. I can put on the form, and I can wear a crop top. I can have this on with no bra. The only reason I don't wear it with this with no bra is because the nipples show a lot more than mine are currently showing, which I do apologize. It is a little cold in here. So anyway, I put this on the back of them, and this will hold them in place. Takes a little getting used to. Luckily, they have a video that shows you how to put them on, and they have another one that shows you how to take it off. Gets some getting used to. I wouldn't recommend leaving it on more than a day, because it will cause some irritation. So it's not something I use every day, but on a nice summer day when I want to wear a topless top, I'll use this. And then they have a remover. You can get it in different sizes, and it's a medical remover. And basically, all you do is you put this on after you take off the form. You put this on it because the forms will come right off. You put this on it, and you spread this on where you had it on your area, and then you take regular dish soap, And what this does is this breaks down the glue, because the glue is non-water soluble, which means you can wear it in the water, you can wear it swimming, you can wear it in the bath. This breaks it down chemically so that you can take water and soap and get all the residue off of that. Now, they have different kinds there, and one of the kinds I have is what's called a squishy. Now, what the squishy is a squishy is made of a more durable outer shell and a more durable, more firmer, not firmer, but more, basically it's a more firmer shell. And here it is. Now, the nice thing about the squishy is it's squishy, so it feels more realer than those. But this is durable enough to sleep in. You can sleep in this. It breathes less, I think, than the other kind. Definitely have to take breaks from this because of the fact that there's no air pockets when you put it on. I don't know if you can see that. It's not concave. I like the other ones because if somebody squishes my boob, I feel it. It's designed, I mean, it fits right, your breast fits right inside, where this is a flatter, more type of deal. That is an expensive kind. If you're just starting out and you're not sure what type of form fits your body type, I would recommend going to Janet's and buying their clearance that they have on sale. The reason that is because instead of paying $150, you can end up paying $50. And that way you can find what your body type is, what fits your body type better, the projection. The biggest thing to keep in mind is that the wider the projection, the bigger the cup size. Now, they also have, if you don't want it sitting against your skin, they also have what's called a cup bra, which basically the form fits right in there. It's like I said, this is stuff that women that have had mastectomies because of breast cancer use to project, the image. I mean, they're self-conscious about what has been removed, and they're afraid that it'll make them less of a woman, so it gives you the presentation. You know, it's the same quality. It's the same type that's used for them. You can, but they have cup bras. You can put it in, and then you just strap the bra on yourself, and you're good to go. Or you can get a regular bra and wear it under it. The thing to keep in mind is you really don't want to use underwire bras with these. It's not recommended. I do because most of the time I'm wearing my clearance set. But if I'm putting on, that other one, I mean, the other one, they say you can use it with it. They just don't recommend it. Being because of, if the wire pokes through your bra, which it eventually will, and it can poke into the breast form. On those other kinds, the silicone will run out, which will definitely irritate your skin. So I would recommend using the forms even if you're going to have your top done. So you get some idea of what you look like, what they feel like, before you go and have something like that put inside you. Because you may think, okay, I need this size, or I want to be this size, and then you put them on and you realize, no. Like I said, these sizes, like that last one I showed you, the one before the squishy, is they had a foam set that I tried sleeping in, because they were lighter, which was that size. And I figured, okay, well, it looks just fine. And then I bought that, which is the exact same size, and I realized how much bigger they are. Technically, I probably should go down to a C, which if and when I ever get any money, I will. But that's for your peace of mind, so you feel that you're presenting the proper image. And it also helps with perception. They're going to perceive you as, if they knew you, they're going to perceive you however they're going to perceive you. You can't change that. But if you go out in public looking like that, especially if you have long hair, they will tend to perceive you. Now, of course, our voices give us away, but you can take voice lessons to do that. The biggest thing is you don't have to have yourself cut open every 10 years. And if you are going to get them, that more power to you. A lot of people do, but at least figure out the right size for you, because you don't want to get a size too big and be stuck with them. And it's not like you're going to be able to fork out $6,000 and turn around. Well, some of you may fork out $6,000 and be able to turn around and fork out another $6,000. Not to mention having to deal with the pain that's required. It can be addictive, though. You can get to where you want bigger and bigger and bigger. I will say one thing for Janet's Closet. They do have the dollar pardon category, which, if that's your thing, they do offer that. I will let you know it does take some use to get into wearing them, to the fact that they bounce, just like your breasts bounce. And it will take your back a while to get used to the weight. Another reason to think about before you do, what type of back pain you're willing to put up with. So those are a couple of things that you can do. One of my recommendations is don't come out like I did when I did. I had my head shaved about a month or two, maybe 3 months earlier. I'd had it shaved because I wasn't planning on coming out, and then the depression got so bad that I knew if I didn't say something, I'd kill myself. The problem with that is at the time I didn't have any wigs, so I had very short hair, which pretty much gave me away when I'm wearing a pink blouse. At least grow your hair long enough that you can add extensions, or at least wait until you get a wig. Now, the thing is I eventually will have to go to wigs. As the baldness associated with us, I'll eventually have to get a wig to keep my hair long. The type of wig you get depends upon you. I mean, there are wigs made with natural hair. I kind of recommend that because it's more natural, but not a lot of people are going to be feeling your hair. Pick a color that you like. So that's another way to help present the image, or it's a way of helping you with your femininity as far as the world looks at you. Now, if you do want to have the surgery, there are a couple of things you need to keep in mind. Okay, the first thing is any lower to upper surgery in regards to breast enhancements, you're going to have to find a surgeon that's willing to put those on someone they conceive as male. I've known people, it took forever to find somebody, even though they've been living out as themselves for a decade. So finding a surgeon can be, on the upper part, can be its own adventure. Then you have the estrogen. If you're doing the shots, then there's finding a doctor that's going to treat you, finding a, I can't remember the word for it, that's in regards to that, that's willing to work with you. The blood tests and everything else, you have to be willing to do that. Any lower surgery is going to require going to a psychiatrist for a year. No one's going to touch you because they want to make sure that you're ready up here before you do that, because it can be such a traumatic experience. So that can be expensive. The whole surgery can be expensive. And what extent are you going to? You know, are you going to have your face reconstructed? That's more money. You're going to have your Adam's apple shape? That's more money. You're going to have the hair removed? That's more money. Are you going to be developed into more of a hourglass figure? That's more money. You're going to have a liposuction done? That's more money. You know, so, you know, that's something to think about if you're thinking of the surgery. Now, the sad thing is, at least in the state that I'm at, I can get my name changed. And that's going to be about, that would be about $1,000 by the time everything's done. I don't have that kind of money, not right now. But in order to get the marker, which I wouldn't be able to do, you have to see a psychiatrist. By marker, for those that don't know, I'm talking about the thing that lists you male or female. To have that changed to match your name, you have to see a psychiatrist for a year. At least in this state. Some states don't require it. I'd love to have my name changed. You know, I'd love when I sign to be able to sign Don Leanne. At $1,000, probably not going to happen. Not with having to not work and stay home and take care of Nana Jay, not having to raise the 3 grandkids, not having the house from hell. For those of you that can't afford it, I'm happy for you. Sorry, it's depressing when I start thinking about all the things I can't do. You know, one of the things that now is a good time to come out, because more of us than ever are coming out. And, you know, people ask me, well, you know, if you hadn't had the responsibilities you did when you were younger, being married and being a parent, would you have done the change? You know, would you have gone ahead with the operations and that? I think I would, but I think I came out at the right time. Yes, I wish I had come out 30 years ago and been more of me. But the problem is society 30 years ago was even less friendly to us. And I don't think the maturity that life has given me in regards to dealing with what I have to deal with, being who I am now, I did not have at that time. So I don't know. If I knew what I knew now, 30 years ago, I don't know if I would have come out then or still waited. You know, part of me wishes I did. Because, and especially for those of you that are having a hard time, that are trans, having a hard time come out because of all the fears that are tied up in that. And I understand. I explained that. I talked about that in the video where I came out, where I explained how I came out. It's scary. It's terrifying. The cost can be high. But at the same time, to finally say, this is who I am, and be able to be who you are, is a freeing it's liberating. You know, I was a very angry individual until I came out. Yes, it cost me my oldest boy. Yes, it cost me good friends. Yes, probably put a strain on me and the son I raised. Um, Made life interesting with Nana Jay for a while until she realized. The thing that I love the most is when people, when you came out to them, or when you first are introduced to them, and it's obvious you're who you were or the body you were given, and you're trying to present the woman you are within and always have been within. It's real funny that a lot of people, that's you, but then a year or two after getting to know you, they're completely different. Um, because they begin to understand the person you're in within inside isn't portrayed by what you wear. I've had quite a few people. You know, I was blessed enough to have a job with the one company in the area that would um, support me. They didn't just say it, but did it. And I got to have the pleasure of going in there as the first transgender, showing that we were just as hard workers, but also showing that we were people, that we have a sense of humor, we have responsibilities, um, and we want the same things. We want to support our families. We want to eventually retire. We want the same things everybody else does. And I had the pleasure of watching a lot of attitudes change. Not all. There's still the six. Well, one or two of them aren't there, but I know of one in particular that still is. But to watch these attitudes change towards me, and that's liberating and it's enriching. I'm glad that I worked with the company and was able to make it so that no one will have to go through what I did during that first period of time in regards to a restroom, and that I helped them at least a little bit to see through my eyes, so that no one else has to come through and do that same thing within the company. Um, so that's basically all I have for tonight. I think I've rambled on enough. Questions, comments, feel free to leave them. I'll be more than happy to respond. Um, if you have a topic you'd like me to discuss, feel free to bring it up and leave it down in the comment section, and I'll definitely give it consideration. As always, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you want to be kept up to date, please hit the subscribe button. We have videos coming out every day but Saturday. My trans talk will always be on Tuesday nights. And I want to thank everyone for coming by tonight, and everyone have a wonderful evening.